What's up, everyone? My name is Mistic, welcome to Mistic Rex. Today, we're watching a video by BlueJay, History of China in a Nutshell. Now, I don't really know much about China, but I would probably like to visit one day whenever I actually learn at least a little bit of the language. But let's get into it and see what the history is. Check out the video down below, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah.
China is a culturally rich ancient civilization that has survived the test of time and is still around today. Quite a rare achievement not many nations can boast, and thus deserves the attentive studying of its diverse story, saturated with the rise and fall of kingdoms and dynasties ever since the Xia dynasty in 2070 BC. So, let's get started. The Xia dynasty of China is the first dynasty to be described. Archaeological findings providing a series of 31 dynasties. Emperor of the Qing dynasty. Alright, with that all over with, let's focus on modern China.
Okay. Hi there, I'm BlueJay. This isn't a gaming video. I'll still make those.
Modern China begins with the end of the dynasties. Revolutionaries thought the emperors were not modernizing enough,
AD.
allowing Western powers to insert their annoying imperial influences in China.
Opium?
The Qing dynasty was overthrown with the Wuchang Uprising, when a bomb accidentally exploded and the revolutionaries were like, well shit, they're just gonna blame that on us. I guess the revolution starts now. Establishing the Republic of China in 1912. Dr. Sun Yat-sen, a bona fide god to the Chinese, became the first provisional president, although he actually didn't directly participate in the uprising. He was in Denver, Colorado at the time, but hey, he was a leader. Sun Yat-sen struck a deal with General Yuan Shikai, commander of the new army, that if he could get the last emperor of China to renounce his rule, he'll get to be the president. This didn't prove to be a challenge, considering Emperor Puyi was literally 6 years old at the time. Hey kid, I'll make you a deal. You can either spend all day ruling over all these losers, being revered as a god amongst men,
Just say these
you can
words.
have this real sick yo-yo. So Yuan Shikai became the official president of the Republic of China, finally ending 3,000 years of dynasty rule. But that wasn't good enough, and a few years later he pulled a Napoleon and declared himself emperor. Understandably, the Chinese people, having just ended an emperor's reign, did not find this very cash money, and he abdicated in 1916, dying shortly after, thus beginning the
Warlord
Warlord era. China shattered into multiple regions, ruled by various warlords, but our hero Sun Yat-sen and the nationalists haven't given up on a unified China, but he needed help establishing alliances with the Soviet Union and the Chinese Communist Party. Because hey, what could go wrong with an alliance between two groups of people with fundamentally different ideologies? It worked out totally fine for the Fire Nation and the rest of the world in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I never watched that.
Yeah, I'm watching a kid's show, so what? Fuck you. Chiang Kai-shek takes control of the Nationalist Party after Sun Yat-sen bites the dust in 1925, working with the communists who were all like, God, these warlords are annoying. Luckily, we're close to a unified China. Yeah, those warlords are gross. You wanna know who's really gross? Them commie bastards. Yeah, wait, what? Chiang turns on the communists, not resting until he chased all of their armies out of the Nationalist Party, igniting the Chinese Civil War. Both sides trying to— wait, what's going on up here? And we'll worry about that later. Chiang Kai-shek almost had the communists defeated until they embarked on the famous Long March across treacherous terrain all the way to the northwest, during which they recognized Mao Zedong as their leader, who will henceforth be shown with a halo so don't get wallbanged by a CCP hit squad. Anyway, after a tussle over a bridge, we're now at war with the Japanese, leading the nationalists and the communists to set aside their differences and form a united front against them. Then, with the help of the US and allies, they defeated Japan, ending the Second Sino-Japanese War and World War II. They were victorious. They succeeded in ending the long 14-year atrocity-filled Japanese occupation of China, their beloved homeland, their ancient, culture-rich civilization, once again finally free from the searing claws of tyranny. Full-scale civil war breaks out again, with the communists accomplishing an incredible comeback fitting for a Rocky movie, routing Chiang Kai-shek and the nationalists to Taiwan in 1949. Scholars debate on exactly how the communists are able to come back. Some attribute it to Mao's charismatic ability to persuade peasants and farmers, gathering their support by promising communism would improve their lives and that they'd never, never go hungry again. Now in power of the
Ooh.
mainland, Mao set on creating a new socialist state, the People's Republic of China,
Ooh.
declaring that the working class would be leaders of a People's Democratic Dictatorship. So yeah, you get to vote.
All the above. Left. Oh.
Mao
Hi
promised
there.
equal rights for women, rent reduction, land distribution,
Ooh.
freedoms of thought, person, speech, assembly, publication, association, religion, and much, much more. You know, all the things China is known for today. To go about tackling land distribution, Mao had a little brainstorming session. Sir, how can we conduct a massive overhaul of the land ownership system? I suppose, if we must, we will execute a few powerful landlords. Damn it, Jimmy, I'm not happy to do it.
Landlord.
But it's for the good of the nation.
Oh.
Mao looked around at the world and saw that your nation wasn't really certified dank unless you had a lot of steel output. But instead of taking calculated steps to industrialize over time, Mao wanted it now, introducing his plan for the Great Leap Forward.
Okay.
Yeah, so get this.
1958.
How about instead of your usual farming and selling all your extra crop, we keep the you farming part, but we take all your crop for the important people. Wait, so we get no food? No. We'll give back whatever's left over. This hardly seems fair. What if I also told you you're gonna build steel furnaces in your backyards, fueled with, you know, whatever you get your hands on, maybe your furniture? Wait, what? All in all, the Great Leap Forward was a disaster, resulting in the worst famine in human history, with upwards of 45 million deaths. But hey, numbers don't matter when you're living in a
democratic people's dictatorship.
Oh hey, remember that culturally rich aspect of China? Yeah, well, Mao was all like, culturally rich? More like belongs in a ditch. Culture's for nerds.
Cultural Revolution.
With the failure of the Great Leap Forward, Mao wanted to reignite that sweet, sweet revolutionary fever. Bands of millions of students were formed into paramilitary Red Guard groups and were sent on an IRL match of search and destroy. Except instead of an enemy team, they faced civilians.
What game
and
is
instead
that?
of defusing a bomb, they burned books and relics. These student groups sought to destroy anything considered bourgeois, anything representing capitalism, religion, tradition, and the West. They shut down schools, destroyed religious and cultural artifacts, and killed intellectuals and party elites believed to be anti-revolutionaries. This decade-long revolution left Chinese culture as destroyed as the Star Wars canon after the Disney acquisition. Fucking bullshit.
When was that?
So, in summary, the Cultural Revolution crippled the Chinese economy, destroyed centuries of culture, and had an estimated death toll of hundreds of thousands to as much as 20 million, with 100 million persecuted. The revolution only ended with Mao Zedong's death, giving him the highest KD in history of 78 million to 1.
Wow.
So who's the true gamer here? Deng Xiaoping became paramount leader after Mao, and noticing Singapore's economic boom, introduced some nifty economic reforms. Hey, so things kind of suck around here, so why don't we loosen our grip a smidge with some decollectivization and open some, get this, special economic zones for foreign investment and free market? Yeah, I don't know, that kind of sounds like capitalism to me. No, we'll call it socialism, with Chinese characteristics. And we'll still be the Chinese Communist Party with a bloody chokehold on the masses. Well, okay.
1980.
I promise it's bloody. In 1989, students started to go, hey, for being a people's democratic dictatorship, we seem to be missing a lot of that democratic part. Yeah, and whatever happened to all those promised freedoms of speech and press? Yeah, hey, we should, like, protest. China takes control of Hong Kong from Britain in 1997, and the people rejoiced. From this point onward, the CCP pretty much developed an anxiety disorder and saw everything and anything as a threat. Got a spiritual yoga practice gaining too many followers, ban it, torture them, harvest their organs. Fancy new tech allowing global connection and mass communication, regulate it, remaster the Great Wall, hire commentators to spam pro-party shit posts. Got a pesky Nobel Prize winner spitting fat.
What did that say?
Hire commentators.
Dude, nothing ever happened in the Tajman Square. Man, it was hot. Yeah.
To spam pro-party shitposts. Got a pesky Nobel Prize winner spitting fat bars of truth. Arrest him, don't let him speak at his trial, make him die in prison. Current President Xi Jinping has become the most powerful Chinese leader since Mao Zedong, having successfully eliminated those annoying term limits in 2018.
Super happy.
Xi's rule of China can basically be perfectly compared to a self-conscious yet egotistical preteen. Wants to be the center of attention, doesn't like to share, Probably smells like a Capri Sun. For
Ooh,
example,
I
the
like
South
Capri
China Sea is the
Suns.
resource-rich heart of trade in southern Asia, but according to the UN, a country can only utilize resources 200 nautical miles from its closest shoreline.
Really?
But that's not fair, she said. According to this ancient map, we should have all this territory. Oh, you mean those 9 vaguely located lines drawn and claimed by the other China nearly a century ago? Yeah, no, you get 200 miles off your shoreline and that's plenty. Off of our shoreline, you say? So, in an attempt to bypass the system, she decided fuck it, let's extend our shoreline, and literally created islands throughout the sea, claiming territory overlapping neighboring nations and taking pot shots at foreign fishermen just trying to get some hitsamabushi for dinner. It got to the point where the UN had a trial on whether these islands can be counted as legit, looking at China's process of just dumping seismic fuckloads of sand on coral reefs, easily declaring, yeah, that's not how islands are made. But she, being the lovable bad boy he is, went, true, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And has been increasing regional tensions while reaping sea resources ever since. So in conclusion, while China has a very interesting history and amazing contributions to humanity, such as gunpowder, paper, and the first ever live crab vending machine, calling the president Winnie the Pooh or believing in a religion may result in the forceful removal of your organs 6 out of 10 stars.
When was this video from? 5 years ago. Okay. Let me know what you think. And if you're from China or you've been to China, let me know what you think of it. Because I would be interested in visiting one day. Maybe. But until next time, bye bye.